one communication habit that will absolutely help you to stand out instantly in your interviews, in your meetings, and your business or at work, in your business settings, or even in other presentations, events, and etc. If you are able to understand how this one communication habit can cause you to instantly stand out from other people, then you will be able to accelerate your career growth very quickly. Now, I want to preface this by saying that this communication habit is talked about some, but it's not emphasized as much as it should be. Why is that? Because people don't really think about it that much. So, if you are watching this video, I know that you are very passionate about being able to stand out like the superstar that you are in your settings as a woman in leadership. And so I know that you are trying to advance yourself. And I appreciate you for being here, because this is the place for you to be. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? You need to subscribe if you're really trying to elevate your communication skills. Now, I want to say that this one skill that will help you to stand out instantly as you are communicating with other people is your tone of voice. Your tone of voice plays a tremendous aspect and impact on your message. I'm going to talk a bit more about specifics and scenarios that you can use a tone of voice to make that bigger impact. But a lot of people overlook tone of voice because they don't really think too much about it. They do not understand how big of an impact it can have. And I'm sharing this with you as someone who has been a C-suite executive and a public speaker for the past 20 years. I've been featured on the news, and I have given Florida State congressional testimony, and I understand how important it is to be able to master your tone of voice. So there's a couple things I want to share with you in terms of different scenarios that you may want to modify your tone of voice so that you stand out from everybody else. Have you ever been in a meeting where someone's talking about a topic and they completely bore you to death? I have. I've been in meetings like that, and you just get kind of tired and you're just like, what are these people talking about? The reason why is because they probably are talking in that same tone of voice the entire presentation, right? That makes you very, very tired. So before I go into more, I want to say hello to all of you who are joining today. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Happy Friday. Please let me know where you are located in this beautiful world that we are in right now, and I will make sure I say hello to all of you as you are joining today. If you want to stand out instantly, then you will want to watch this video. I want to say hello to Minhas, all right, Hamad, hello, hello, Manzoor, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Let me know what part of the world you are joining from today. So if you want to stand out instantly, your tone of voice is important. You need to master your tone of voice, and I just started talking about how I can help you do that on this live today. There's different scenarios where your tone of voice is going to make a big impact. So for instance, if you are in a setting where you want to be that very charismatic, energetic type of person, then guess what? Do you think your tone of voice needs to be up, or does it need to be down? Put it in the comments below. Let me know. What are your thoughts? If you're trying to be more charismatic, what do you think your tone of voice should be doing? Let me know. I'll let you know. Your tone of voice should absolutely be a little bit higher if you're trying to be more charismatic. Why? Higher voices don't necessarily need to be high pitched, like squeaky, squeaky kind of voice. Not like that. That's annoying. But a higher elevation of voice will allow you to sound more energetic. So if you want to be that person that stands out instantly from other people, elevate your voice. Especially in a setting, if you're talking to a group of people, elevate your voice. That will be very, 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 very helpful. So the other thing that I also want to mention to you as well, when you are elevating your voice, that will actually be able to bring people to listen to you. Because if people are in their conversations and they happen to hear someone say something that's louder and they look and say, oh, somebody's talking, what did they say? Direction, everyone's eyes are going to absolutely be present on you, and they're going to look to see exactly what it is that you're talking about, and want to know what else it is that you are trying to say. That is very, very helpful. So I want to provide you all with that insight as well. And don't forget to modify your tone of voice and elevate it if you want to sound more charismatic, more energetic, be that person that exudes that executive presence that everybody wants to have. So I want to say hello. We have Tommy present. Hello, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for your support and encouraging people to subscribe. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Please let me know if you have any questions as it relates to how to stand out instantly with this communication habit. Now, we talked about elevating your tone of voice. Now, we're going to talk about the second way you can adjust your voice, and that is to do what? We're going to lower our voice. Okay, so when do you want to lower your tone of voice? Why would you ever want to do that? There's multiple scenarios when you do that. And I'm going to touch on just a few today. If you want me to go into a lot more detail to help you stand out when you're communicating to other people in your interviews, in your leadership roles, in your meetings at work or your business, then let me know in the comments below. I will do more and be able to support you in that area. And lowering your voice is important when you are trying to make a very big impact. Sometimes when you lower your voice, you may need to whisper. And that shows that you are being very discreet. You're being very confidential about the things that you are saying. So if you're speaking to someone and you have to speak to them, right? Speak to someone and you say, you know, I really, really enjoyed how this process went. This is great. I'm really glad to hear from you. This is really impactful. That is a way of you showing that you are the person who can control themselves and speak to someone in a very subtle type of way. A lot of times people make this mistake is that when they're in meetings and settings and things like that, they don't know how to be discreet. They just talk loud and they'll say, well, I really like this. I mean, it's just really just annoying. And so to really stand out instantly as that person is to make sure you're speaking in a lower tone of voice if you have to whisper to someone. Now, I will say one other thing though. Now, if you're having to whisper to someone, you want to make sure that you are in a good place in terms of your oral health. I'm saying that, of course, I am a dentist, but I'm just saying, like, if you're going to whisper to somebody, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you are keeping up with your cleanings and et cetera to get everything healthy, and make sure that you are just, you know, somebody wants to listen to. That's one thing that's very important because you don't want to whisper to people and not be interacting with them in a way that might be detracting from them being able to listen to you. Now, another reason you want to lower your voice is to make you sound like an authority. So when you think about leaders and situations that come up when those big moments happen, people tend to lower their voice a bit. They tend to lower their voice. Why? Because when someone speaks in a lower tone of voice than what perhaps you're used to hearing them speak from, it presents a level of authority that they're not used to, and they're just like, let me listen to what this person has to say. The same type of situation happens when you elevate your voice. Is the same type of situation that will happen when you lower your voice too, because lowering your voice has a lot of power to it. I personally do this a lot, and these are one of my secrets, one of the skills that I teach my clients in my program, The Real Executive Woman, that helps you to go from where you are right now to that exceptional executive leader that can manage office politics, manage crisis situations, and communicate at that higher level than your peers. Executive presence is a key pillar of the framework that I work with my clients in. And when you're trying to develop your executive presence, you will need to lower your voice some. Not in a way to where you're whispering, but in a way to where your tone of voice sounds a bit more serious than perhaps someone that may be joking around. Now, I can talk about this literally all day long, but I wanted to at least give you one insight in terms of when you want to lower your voice. Now, if this information has been helpful to you so far, feel free to put it in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you like this type of content? Is there any other questions that you may have as it relates to how you can really stand out as a leader by using these communication skills and their habits? So we've talked about several things. There's one other scenario when I want to mention to you in terms of lowering your voice. Are you ready? We've talked about whispering, showing that you're being discreet and you're being very subtle. We've talked about lowering it for impact to show that you are someone that has an authority, that you are speaking in a more serious tone of voice. The third way that lowering your voice can make you stand out instantly is when you are in a crisis situation. Crisis situations are typically a very big issue. It's escalated. It's all the way up here, past the phone here. It's way up there. And when you are wanting to bring down calmness to the people around you who are perhaps thinking that the sky is falling, a lower tone of voice will allow them to calm down. So when someone comes to you with a fire, as I say it, a fire that happens, something's wrong, there's an issue, the system's broken, there's a problem. If you respond to them in that very high pitched voice and you feed into their energy and how they're speaking to you, because most of the time, your people that are going to be working with you or the teams you're leading, they're going to be maybe not at your level as a leader. That's why they are not in that leadership role. But if you start to communicate with them in the same way they're communicating with you, that situation that was already up here, it's about to go even higher up here because the person is thinking, oh my gosh, my leader is worried, they're concerned. What am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh gosh, the sky's falling. People really think that in their mind. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. This is serious. I have seen this over the past 20 years. I've worked as a manager, a C-suite, a director. I have seen it. I can't say I've seen it all because I have not seen it all, but I've seen quite a bit. And this is a mistake that leaders make all the time in terms of how they're communicating in crisis situations. If you want some more support in terms of how you can manage crisis situations in a way that reflects dignity, grace, calmness, executive presence, then contact me for a strategy session so we can talk about where you are. I can share with you some insights into the Real Executive Woman program that I have that can help you be able to regulate yourself and regulate your emotions when those crisis situations come up. Now, as I mentioned, lowering your voice will help to calm everyone down. This is very important when you are trying to stand out from everyone else. Now, I hope that this information has been helpful to you. For those of you who are just joining, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you spent a few moments out of your day with me today. Today, we talked about how to stand out instantly with this communication habit as a leader. And the way that you stand out instantly is to modify your tone of voice. Be very, very mindful of it. There are times when you will need to raise your voice and elevate your voice. If you want to learn more, watch the replay. There are times when you need to lower your voice specifically for impact as a leader. And if you want to learn more about that, you'll need to watch the replay. There's a lot of information that we can unpack about your tone of voice, but I will guarantee you how you speak to others and your tone of voice will automatically cause you to either stand out or not stand out from everyone else. Now, I want to know from you, what are some questions you have about your tone of voice, modifying it, anything related to leadership and executive presence? I'm here to really support you on your journey. I am so incredibly honored that we are at 331 subscribers. I know that may be relatively small to other YouTube channels, but I am very grateful for each and every one of you to spend some of your time with me. My main focus is women in leadership. However, I know I do have a lot of people that are subscribed to my channel that are not women in leadership, and that's okay. I know that you are incredibly passionate about becoming that next level leader that communicates at a higher level than your peers, that can make a bigger impact on the world, bigger impact on your businesses and your organizations, and to generate more money for yourself. So I know this is important to you, so I appreciate you being a part of my journey. Our channel ended up reaching over 50,000 views early in April, so I know we're beyond that number now because it's toward the end of April, and this is 2025. And so I'm really excited to have that many views on the channel. It means a lot to me that people have watched my videos 50,000 times. It means a lot because I really do want to bring forth that next generation of leaders who are able to lead with their executive presence and to be that person that we all need to see in our careers and for our future generations to see also. If you don't have any other questions for me, then I will see you all next week for my live. I do lives Monday through Friday, around about the same time, between 7 to 7:20 Eastern Standard Time. And you'll find me here on YouTube. I talk about different topics as it relates to executive presence, communication skills, interview preparation, salary negotiation, anything that's at that professional, very high level. That's what we talk about here on this channel. And we talk about it in the form of real world strategies, not the fluff, not the theory. There are theories that we talk about, but I really focus in on what specifically I have experienced, what many other leaders experience, and the specific strategies that you will not get other places that will actually be real world strategies to help you accelerate in your career. Now, if you want to learn more, let me know. I have a fantastic program that can support you to really elevate yourself as that woman in leadership. If you're truly ready to make that change in your life and you know that you're called to do a lot more, but you just need a little bit of support to help you be able to lead and communicate at that higher level. I'm looking forward to seeing you all soon. If you have any questions in the replay, put them in the comments below. I will answer them for you. And if you have any topics, let me know. I will answer them for you as well. I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and bye for now.